tough act to follow. So in your program this evening, you have two beautifully written biographies of our next honorees, Mary and Rick Tarza, but I'm not going to read them to you. So I ask that you make sure you read their bios because it is an impressive listing of the many, many, many ways, and many of the ways are not even listed, that Rick and Mary have supported our school. They've supported their principal, the teachers, the students in ways big and small for many years and for generations, actually. However, when I'm tasked with speaking, which, believe it or not, is not really my favorite thing, I start to look for places of inspiration, and Bridget was wonderful enough to I will. Oh, I'm sorry, Mrs. Haggerty was wonderful enough to tell Bridget, who told me, that some of our alumni had a better idea than Mrs. Albert speaking. So they've had to listen to enough of my speeches, and they didn't want to hear another one. And when we want to do something in a big way at Kingston Catholic, we often like to do it in song. So the alums, Thomas Snitter and Abby Russa, wanted to be here this evening to do this in person, but they could not. So they sent a little something for their friends, Rick and Mary. Oh, I need you back, Bridget. Okay, here we go. Straight out. Can you hear?
Rick and Mary, Rick and Mary, they're a better team than Tom and Jerry. This I tell your brother, you can't have one without the other. Rick and Mary, Rick and Mary, providing service that's extraordinary. You can ask their daughter, they really helped her alma mater. Rick is really quite the whiz when he's on his computer. And Mary posts so many pics, it'd be hard to substitute her. Rick and Mary, Rick and Mary, this award was very necessary. You proved your dedication. Here's to your impact. And it's a fact. You need a much-deserved vacation.
Ladies and gentlemen, it is our privilege to acknowledge and bring up Rick and Mary.
Rick has a bad leg, he says. So Rick would like you to know that he'd be nowhere without me. He'd like you to know that it has been his pleasure and to be honored, but also wouldn't have gotten here without me. And now I'll show you my ventriloquism. Thank you very much. It's my pleasure to be here. And I'd like to thank my wife for it all.
That sums it all up.
I would like to, well, many years ago, I attended the Coleman Hall of Fame dinner when Pat and Bernie Redmond were honored as major contributors to the Coleman family, and they've also been major contributors to the Kingston Catholic, St. Mary's Kingston Catholic family over the years. Anyway, one of the things that impressed me was Bernie's acceptance speech. And all these years later, how many years ago was it? A lot.
75.
Yeah, at least. And Bertie said two things, and I'm going to say those same two things. Thank you.
On behalf of Bridget and Lisa and Beth and the KCSFO, we just want to thank you all for a wonderful evening, and thank you again to our honorees. You mean the world to us. Thank you, everybody.